Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Let's Play Fallen Enchantress Legendary Heroes, a 4X game where you can express yourself to the fullest. Of course, main rule, no loading, no saving, and we're creating everything ourselves. As for the character creation, you are allowed to do whatever you like. You can even create your own race. If you click, for example, up here, you can create your race. It can either be Kingdom or Empire. The Kingdom are the good guys. They have access to other special troops than the Empire has. For example, if you find an Ogre cave, the Empire can train Ogres. If you find a monastery of special knights, then only the Kingdom can harvest them and get the knights into their armies. You can create or can take different races, each with their own benefits. Please keep in mind that most of the benefits can only be accessed through research, which means train golem is nothing that you can build from the start, but you can research golems. Others cannot do that. Some of them depend on the number of shards you have that are buildings in the game world that you can build that enhances your entire race, which sounds quite cool, and it is. I personally would go for the man, not because of the plus 10 experience, that is quite cool as well, but the ability to train henchmen. Now, what is a henchman, you ask? A henchman is a self-made hero. Normally in this game you can get heroes by accumulating fame, and then the heroes come to you and say, whoa, you're important, I'm going to work for you. Henchmen you can build, and they are not quite the same as heroes, but they're close enough. They can use items and they can learn classes, for example, administrator or mage or commander, like that, and lead armies. That's quite cool. You don't need a leader for the army, but it is better to have one. You can take 3 points for strengths of your people, but you can also take 1 negative. Now, I would not recommend no armor because armor keeps you alive. Rebels is definitely not good because unrest is pretty bad. Uneducated, you will need your research, and no ranged weapons. Are you kidding me? There are a lot of things you don't want to touch. So, vulnerability to magic is okay because for 1, not every enemy can cast spells, and for 2, there are ways to deal with that. You can give yourself your faction colors as you like, you can give yourself your crests as you like, and you can make your own backstory. As for the strengths, please keep in mind that some of these strengths does not give you something special, but also something earlier. For example, adepts, everyone can research shard harvesting. You only start with that technology. That's your bonus, and 40 mana, for example. It's also important to know that, for example, when it comes to archery or to great hammers, that does not mean you have this great battle hammer right from the start. You can research it and then you can build it. It does not mean you have it right from the start. Some players look at the starting characters that the computer has created and says, oh boy, he's got 4 weapons with him and they're all so powerful. No, he does not have them. He can research them. That's a big difference. What I would personally go for is the Declon, because that enables you to build tombs of magic, which allows your henchmen to cast spells, so that is a little nice combo here. And Betrayers, because Betrayers allows you, for 1, to recruit heroes of Kingdom when you're Empire, and the other way around. At least that was the case. I hope that's still the case. And with the latest update, and it allows you to buy cities, and they cannot resist that. Pretty cool. You see that there are some skills who does not need any points. That is, you're just trading something. You're trading your chainmail for light plate, or you're trading your plate mail for masterwork chainmail. If you like that, that's up to you. As always, everything's up to you. So keep in mind, some of these are just technologies that you get faster than others, and some of them give you unique abilities that others do not have. For example, Slave Lord is pretty cool as well. Does not mean that you can enslave people. It simply means that when you kill a city, half of the population is transferred to your nearest city, which is very good. And if you kill people or fallen on the field of battle, they will reinforce your city's population. And that is quite good because it's recycling, more or less, if you ask me. When you look at your leader yourself, Keep in mind the following things. You have points to distribute, and you can squeeze some extra points out by taking a weakness. Do not take clumsy if you want to win in battle, because that means you miss a lot. And you normally miss when you need it the most. Cruel, absolutely no way in hell, because unrest in all cities. We're building an empire here. No, we don't want that. Scarred. Yes, okay, you could take that, because 1 point per season isn't that evil. Cowardly, everything normally is higher than you. If you're playing on a difficulty level where the enemy is lower than you, then, well, you don't care about weaknesses or strength or anything at all. You can win that with your hands tied to the back. Weakness, well, -2 attack isn't that much. A sword, for example, or look at this stuff, gives you +8 attack. So, well, -2, acceptable. I would go to vulnerable to magic because, as I said, not everyone can cast spells, and we can deal with that pretty well. As for the bonuses, attunement +2 mana per season sounds great, but keep in mind that your cities can produce a lot of mana if you do it right, so that is not worth a point for creation. Cautious, you can escape from battle. That's pretty cool, because a lot of things are going to attack you, and most of the things that attack you can eat you right away. You and your army and everyone that knows your army. Hardy, yeah, when you get level 20, you have 20 hit points extra. Boo, you have 22 in the beginning. Yeah, well, okay. Not really. That is not that bad, because actually a familiar is someone who can cast spells as if you were there. You can split your armies and then you're at 2 points at the same time. Yes. Wealthy, 400 gilda is a lot of cash, because you get about 1 gilda per turn in the beginning if you're lucky. So 400, whoa, a lot of coin. And when you sell items, which you will because you find a lot of stuff, you get double the payment. Yes, why not? Misandry, most of the enemies are male, so yeah. Treasure Hunter, 5% chance to find more good items. Boy! No. Because, no. That is simply not good enough. 5% chance. I mean, you can load and save as you like, then you don't need that, or you accept what you find, then who cares about 5%. Every time you cast a spell, you heal 4 life points. You have no mana for casting spells like healing that. And that's not working. +1 to the initiative of the army. If that means +1 per shard, I would be in it. +1 in total for 1 point, no way in hell. Might, +3 attack. And the staff gives 8. Honestly, no. Discipline. Accuracy important because you don't hit a lot. So, yes. Brilliant. Brilliant is brilliant, not because of the 10% experience, which of course accumulates with our 10% experience from Altarian Blood, which is pretty cool. You ask what rush is. Rush means you can take an action, and then you can take an action right after that. Pretty good. +2 spell mastery in level. Now what you have to know is that when you cast something, no matter what it is, your spell mastery level is taken into consideration if it hits or if it overcomes the enemy's resistance. You get my point, spell mastery, very, very nice. As for the professions, you can only have 1. Now, you say adventurer plus fame for completing quests. Who cares about that? You care about that. You care about that a lot, because this is called Legendary Heroes for a reason. Heroes join your empire because they think you're cool. And they determine that by the number of fame points you have. And +10 fame is a lot, trust me. Bandit Lord, you start with 2 bandits and you have the ability to convert bandits. Where is the flaw in that? Well, bandits are not the greatest warriors. Otherwise they would be warriors. There's bandits because they're not warriors. You get my point? Nah. Diplomat. Well, if you combine that with the other thing for the 400 gilda, that might be nice. But the point is, the Silver Tongue ability allows you to take over trained enemy troops. Trained enemy troops. We're not talking ogres, we're not talking spiders, we're not even talking bandits. We're talking regular military units here. And in the beginning, they're hard to find. And they cost money. This ability costs money, not mana. So 40 or... no, I think it's 100. 100 gold to take over an enemy unit. Boy, they must be the shining knights of armor before I pay that much money. Hunter, plus 50 attack versus beasts. There are a lot of beasts, but trust me, 50% attack will not save your life. Plus 20% research. Well, this can be achieved by other ways, if you ask me. Warlock. Yay! If you only had the mana and the spells to make that one work. Warlord, minus 50% unit wages. That is pretty cool, because units tend to go up in expensiveness if you upgrade them. You can upgrade them. Yes, you build a unit and then you can grade it up, like in Masters of Orion or Masters of Magic. Absolute cool. Summons. Yeah, you can summon a lot of stuff, and you can summon a Shadow Walk, which is pretty good unit. Noble, minus 10 unrest in all cities. Wonderful. General, yes, your guys level up pretty fast, and that's important. Armorer, all units get 25%. Good. And of course, this is the one that I take, but you have to repair the game if you take that, because normally this is bugged, but you can repair it by going into the programming itself and adjust that. If someone is interested how that works, please ask me and I will explain. This works pretty fine with Brilliant, by the way, because why take over beasts and not enemy units and not bandits? Well, as I said, bandits are not warriors, and warriors are very expensive and they have an upkeep. Beasts are plentiful. They come in a great variety with a lot of abilities that you can use. Spiders with web, and bears with mauling, and I do not know, Tyrannosauruses with eat your face off, and they do not cost upkeep. Cheap and useful. What can you ask more for? So Beast Lord is the thing to go. Although this costs money and stamina, but more to that later. You can learn up to the 2nd degree in a spell line. Why is that important? Well, because for one, if you take it, you get 2 spells. Sometimes you get, where is it? I think one of them poses 3. And if you upgrade that, you get the 2nd level spells as well. So, what would I recommend? I would recommend Air, because of Propaganda, plus 2 Gilda per Essence. What is Essence? You will learn later. Earth Apprentice, because of Enchanted Hammers. And Aura of Might. All trained units get plus 1 defense per essence, ladies and gentlemen. Per essence. Not plus 1 per se, but plus 1 per essence. So if you have 3 essence in the city, you get plus 3 defense. Woohoo! And Water, for example, plus 1 research. That does not sound like much, but actually it is. If you've chosen all you take here, please keep in mind that you cannot only choose how your guy looks like to different degrees of well, look at this. You get my point. You can do all kind of weird stuff here. I'm personally not interested in how my character looks, as long as he does what he should. But you can buy equipment, so if you have points to spend, and I would really recommend that you don't, you could buy some more some more expensive gear. The only thing I would take into consideration is the Staff of Souls, because it gives you mana when you kill people. However, with 4 damage you will have problems killing people. I would recommend the Axe, because backswing. If you miss the target, you'll miss a lot in the beginning, you get another chance. Woohoo! And you can cleave. You can hit 3 enemies in a row, or standing close to each other. Of course, there are other great weapons that do more damage than that, but this would be my tip. Bunny slippers. Dodge is not that bad, so don't laugh about the bunny slippers. Horses are great. Modus movement, and you're just great. And extra equipment could go for that. That is the only one that I would recommend, because there are a lot of good enchantments, and with that they cost no upkeep. Otherwise, they're eating your money off. And you can have backstory as you like. Now, this is the character I created. Of course, they have the Betrayers, because taking over cities and taking heroes of different alignments. The Declon, because our guys can then research the tombs to learn magic. So we have spellcasting henchmen heroes, and we can create the outpost where we need them. We're vulnerable to magic, obviously, but you cannot see here that I'm a Beast Lord. I'm vulnerable to magic. Of course, I'm brilliant. What else could I be? Water Apprentice for inspiration, Earth Apprentice for enchanted hammers, and Air Apprentice for propaganda. We have the trained henchman and the plus 10 experience, and we're carrying an axe, and that's how we look. When we go into the game itself, of course, the world size will be huge. Again, no loading, no saving. Difficulty insane, of course. A lot of events, because we like that. A lot of quests, because we like that. A maximum number of opponents, more is not possible. Of course, the opponents will be insanely difficult. Opponent surrender threshold, they will not fight normally. So no real stuff, because I don't want them to just simply vanish from the map. Evenly distributed kingdom and empires. Of course, if you're an empire, the other empires will not hate you as much as if you were a kingdom. And if you're a kingdom, the others will not hate you as much as if you were an empire. Conquest enabled, diplomatic enabled, master quest enabled, spell of making enabled, and then we'll jump right into the game and see each other there. And here we are. Far beneath the withered plains of the world, Askinam discovered his call to a far greater things than dig. A mining expedition on the eastern side of the scraps had Askiman and a dozen others toiling for years, with no family, home, or drive to adventure. The humble miner spent a long time digging downwards and restful nights under the sky, gazing upwards. One morning, as the street dust hung heavy in the small tunnel, Askimanam undiscovered a relic of Cataclysm. Accidentally touching its enormous crystal, visions pierced his mind of dust wastes brought to life by his touch. From that day, Askiman worked to discover himself and the great powers beheld in that vision. And here we are, and here we see the map. Let me begin at the top left corner. That is the day, that is our income, that is our research, that is our fame, that is our mana. When you go over here, we have that's basically the library. We are not researching anything. We have nothing to tax. We have no faction power because we have no city at the moment. We have our unit. That consists at the moment of ourselves. You see here all our spells and abilities, our moves, our attack, our defense, hit points, initiative, accuracy, dodge, hit chance. That is a very, very rich game in stuff. Trust me. Our equipment, we have a weapon, and our trades. At the moment, we are a general. Later on, we can choose classes, and as you can see, we can learn more spells as time goes by, and we can learn more abilities as time goes by. And we can even choose other classes later on. We have our spearmen. These guys can be upgraded, so we can make them better. They can learn new skills if we research them. They can learn, can get bitter. At the moment, they are, I think, 3-man groups. Unless that pointed out, should have been pointed. I don't find it at the moment. But normally they're groups of 3, and you can see it. Excuse me. You can make them 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. And we have a militia armed with clubs. Well, that's not a lot, but it will be enough. We can guard, pass, rename, disband. Our first city can be settled by our leader. That is only the first city. Beyond that, there is no more doing that. That's important. You need settlers later on to build cities. The first one can be built by your monarch. The rest must be built by yourself. When you look into the resources available, you see that we have horses here. Of course, we need to learn the technology first. Crystals, a refugee camp, that is a quest. You can see that by the little scroll here. Twilight bees, they make honey, that is food. You can see the little chest things there. That means they're items. That, for example, is a death shard. We can get mana and death magic there. Another quest, more stuff to loot. And then you see these little guys here running around. For example, a Butchman's army. Let's look at that Butcher guy. He has a lot of hit points. He's level 6. He's got a real weapon. He has Undying Curse, Inaccurate, Vulnerable to Magic, and Rage. He has a very bad spell resistance, though. And he has, for example, a spider with him. That is tough, can counter-attack, can do poison damage, has 92 hit points. And by the way, when you look close enough, you see that that is just one big spider, really, really ugly. We see these guys here who are ruffians, bandit, archers, with a crude short bow, minus 20 accuracy. Good thing they're not equipped anything useful. And they have wolves. Then there are even more evildoers, and even more spiders. However, these are not that big spiders like the others. And then you see these little tiles on the floor. Green is food, how much food, and it only counts on the place that you settle. So you're not getting this if you're settling here, if you get my point. And 3 essence. Essence is, for 1, it determines how many enchantments can be put on the city, so that is absolutely important. And it is important because it determines how effective the enchantment will be. For example, if you do propaganda on a city that has 1 essence, you're getting 2 gold a day. If you put it on a city that has 3 essence, it will produce 6 gold a day. And for example, if you have a city that has only essence 1, or build a city in a place that only has essence 1, guess what? You can only place 1 enchantment there, so you cannot place propaganda and the research spell on it. So that is pretty important in my eyes. We're playing this as a tips and tricks video as well, so essence is the key. All of the other stuff is nice. Shards are very important, yes, but very important for 1 is your essence. The rest comes later. Oh, see, there is a super wolf. You see the small wolves, and there is 1 ebon wolf. Woo, has a deadly bite. 3 times the attack. It does 15, so it's 45. Let's do the small math here. We have how many hit points? 22. Can he kill us? Oh boy, that guy can ravage us. So first thing we do is we go here. And we settle. You watch as your flag, the flag of Keldar, flutters in the wind high above the simple hosts of Runanio. It's the beginning. This place, the new capital of the Empire of Keldar. But you turn away from all congratulations. You will be satisfied only when the flag of the Keldar flies over all lands, west and east alike, east and west alike, and the sight of it, the sound of your name, causes both men and fallen to tremble in fear. So, we have our city. We are currently constructing nothing. We could build that here, but we don't have a quarry. You could build this here, but we don't have a stable. Oh, actually, we can already do that, because mining, I think, is only for gold. But what do we do with crystals? That's the big question. The first things we should build, for example, we could build a Tower of Domination, plus 10 fame. Woohoo! Or a merchant, more money. Or a cleric, for less unrest, and well, it produces fame as well. Monument, zone of control, so we have more access to stuff around. So what do we build the first? I would probably go for the Tower of Dominion. It takes 7 turns, that is true, but it will grow faster and will get fame, and therefore we'll get our first hero. So I think that is the most important thing at the beginning. What else can we do? Well, we can no longer walk, and our guys are a little bit troubled outside, because when they get attacked without their lord, they're pretty much toast. We can train units, for example. You see here the units that are available, and you can design them. I'm not making this up. You can, for example, edit those guys and make them more usable. For example, let's edit this militia. And we say, hey, militia, I want you to be a scout, because then you can ignore penalties and you see further. And dodge per level would be nice, for example, and defender would be nice. Defense, no. Experience, spell resistance, allows the character to wear chain ammo. In the beginning, for example, we could say, okay, we want this. And, well, we don't have any more equipment for you, have we? +1 initiative isn't that good. You could say, oh, well, I want you with armor, and I want you with that. And, the rest is pretty bad. +1 initiative, yes, please. And as a weapon, I want you to have a spear. Don't they look cool? Huh? Maybe we should give them another look. And this is our new guardian then. We could create a unit from new, or we can retire the spearman. But we're not doing that at the moment. You can see that our tower is built here. You can actually see everything you built in your city. So we can cast something. At the moment we're doing minus income because we have so much stuff to pay. So what we do about that? Well, we do some propaganda on our city. And now you see one of these things here is filled. And as you can see, we're making actually bonus money now. But that is not enough. We want more. We could go for meditation because we need more mana. At the moment we're producing 1 mana. So we do that. It costs nothing. And we get 4 mana a turn. Isn't that beautiful? And while we're at it, well, why not lift spirits? We can do enchanted hammers. Or we can do research. At the moment I think we need to build faster. So let's do that. And we can see that it now takes less turns to build what we want. So come on, out of that. What is wrong now? 14% unrest. Are you kidding me? So we're building our flame. That is good. We can go for research though. We can show our kingdom info. At the moment we're not researching anything. We could go for magic, which are this wonderful stuff here. We could go for warfare, making our troops more, and of course this goes that way, a long way. So okay, or we can go for this here, for more research or for more food or production. So what do I recommend to get the first? Well, it's hard. It's either knowledge, provides a minor boost to research of a city. At the moment we are researching 1. If we research that, we'll research 2. So that is plus 100%. So I personally would recommend going for knowledge first. Yes, if we could, we should go for shard control, because then we can build shrines. But at the moment we have no control over these shards anyway, so that will not help us that much. So, can we do anything to go up against the unrest? We could go to low, or to none. Then we have no income at all. That is bad. So we have a little minus income, but we will not have the unrest that we currently have. Unrest is at 1%. That is because we're in the city. If we leave the city, yeah, you know what happens. They get crazy even more. At the moment we cannot move. They're building the Tower of Dominion in 5 turns. If we put that up, they still need 5 turns, so that's okay with me. He cannot move because he used up all his movement points. Oh no, he has. And we found an item. Let's see what item that we found. Spell Mastery now. Isn't that cool? And now we have that, because now it has plus 10 spell mastery, which is actually quite important for us. Now, as our soldiers are not henchmen or heroes, we cannot give them the items into their hands. We could only do that if they were heroes. So that's the reason I want to train henchmen. But if you look up here, you see that there are even more stuff. There are even more shards and cams and stuff that we can get. So that is the beginning of the first turn. I think we did okay, and next time we'll run around and save the day. Well, actually we can join our hero to protect him. Do not forget that whatever you do, your other guys cannot help, cannot pick up items. Only your hero can do that, or your henchman, or your leader. But normal soldiers cannot pick up items from the ground. So with that being said, I think we're done for today, and we'll see each other next time. Bye!